And we are live. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are we all doing
Thank
today?
you for having us back.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us back, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Comments
So
here.
which bingo game we're playing then?
All right. So
It is Tuesday today.
No, today's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, and I'm just going to run through the chat here real quick and say hello to everyone. Then we'll get started.
Yes, yesterday was Monday.
All right. Okay, so we have Red Laser. Hello, Red Laser. Lakes to Land. I'm not sure if they're in here right now or not.
I think there might have been earlier drop.
Adele came in to drop a thumbs up.
Arnold's here.
Arnold's here. Hello, Arnold. Welcome, mate. Good to see you as always.
Hi, Arnold.
Alrighty. I can normally see that we have one in chat right now. All right. So
we had Adele.
Adele dropped in. She's according to this. Yeah. Well, it says 3 in chat. Oh, Adele here. Adele's here. Okay.
You got Adele.
We just showed one a moment.
And Aquatics.
Right. Well, welcome everybody who's here and to the replay crew. We are going to go ahead and get started here with this the third Aquatics Anonymous meeting, Aquatics Addicts Anonymous, the AAA. And we do have some talking points to go over. And first of all, we'll go ahead and say thank you to Andrew and to Mel for being on the panel today. And we'll go ahead and get started. So we will pull up the first talking point right now. And this is the topic of the day, basically, compulsive buying and the implications that it has for us in our hobby. And what I found for myself is I'm a fairly spontaneous buyer. If I see something, it's easy for me just to go ahead and grab it without thinking about it first. And definitely it's something that I have to deal with. And we have Chris Stubbs. Hello, Chris. Welcome.
Hi, Chris.
And so, in other words, when I started building this fish room, and with my compulsive nature, I found that I kind of the fish room grew faster than I was ready for it.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell behind in a lot of maintenance issues and the planning out of it. Like as I see, like on yours, Mal, you're planning your fish room, and that's, if I had it to do over again, I would have planned it out just so the same as you have. Because when you're doing an organic build like this, it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just picks up momentum.
Yeah. That's what I would be worried about, Jeff, is the fact that you'd be buying equipment, but the more tanks you add, the quicker that equipment's going to be redundant use-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like your air pumps and stuff like that. And at what point do you decide to heat the room instead of the tanks and stuff?
Yeah, I suppose with the air pumps, you're buying for what you have now.
Yeah.
But you're not. I mean, fortunately, Jeff's done it with obviously the air pump that he's got. He's fully capable of
get more tanks.
More. Yeah.
He was on about that yesterday with bleeding them off. So room for extensions.
Oh, there's room. There's room. I could have easily double the amount of tanks I have and still have extra power. But the problem with the compulsive end of it is before I decided to do all the central air for down here, I bought a bunch of hang-on back filters. Yeah. And I got a bunch of new ones. I got like 5 or 6 of them here. They're still brand new in box. And I paid the money for them, and then I decided to do this system, which I'm glad I did, but it goes to show what the compulsive buying. I mean, if I would have just slowed down a little bit and thought about it and planned it out a little bit better, I wouldn't have had so many extra, pieces of equipment down here that they're just collecting dust.
That junk box, the junk box under the bench.
Absolutely. Yeah. I got boxes down here. I could, if I was to take this, well, I can't do it with my iPad here, but if I was to take my phone around and show you all the excess equipment, like glass lids for tanks, which I'll be using those. Those are something that I'll always use, but filters.
Yeah. Empty tanks.
Yeah, I got empty tanks that I need to get set up. But the tanks that's one thing. That's when I see a sale, I always buy. We have that Petco 50% off sale, and it doesn't make any sense not to take advantage of it because you never know if it's ever going to stop. I'm always worried that they're going to say, well, we've sold enough of these tanks at 50% off. Now we're not going to do it. We're going to cut it down to 30% or 25%.
Now we're going to give you English prices. And everyone's out the hobby.
Yeah, you guys really get destroyed with your prices over there. It's just...
I was watching one of your videos the other day, Jeff. It was the one where you were setting up a tank. And you done that where you squeezed your used filter in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I've done that.
I use that one.
I've done that for years. You know, it works. I'll do that. I'll do that, and I'll use if I have a new filter, I have a well-seasoned tank with a sponge filter. I'll take the dirty filter out to the new tank, do that, and use that one that I pulled out of the tank into the new one, and I'll put the new filter in the old tank because it's got enough beneficial bacteria in the glass and the decorations.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, that's why I keep it rolling.
I was just sorry, what?
I had I think it was Steve from Tanked Up. Steve.
Yeah.
He asked me, he says, why do you have all these extra filters in your tank that aren't hooked up? And I mentioned, well, that's what I do. I just buy extra filters to have them ready for when I expand. And so that was my answer to him on that. I don't know if I wasn't sure if he was aware of doing that or not, but.
I think he's only got about 2 or 3 tanks.
Yeah, he's down to 2 or 3 tanks now. He's kind of, well, that's okay, you know, as long as you got a tank to enjoy, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Little windows into different worlds. That's what they are.
Yes. So I was going to ask both of you gentlemen, whoever would like to go first, have you ever had any compulsive buying experiences with your hobbies? Would either of you like to go first?
Oh yeah, but I think it's more fish, which is sort of you've gone into a fish store and you go.
Yeah, well, that could be anything as long as fish or anything. Hobby.
I mean, I think with me it's been mainly fish.
That's easy to do. Yeah.
You've gone in and I mean, especially like we've had goldfish in the past where you go into a fish store and you go, that's a nice fish, and you walk out with it.
Yeah.
But you didn't go in to buy the fish.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes. I mean, we did that recently. We done as banjo, unfortunately. I mean, not recently. It's quite a few months back, about Christmas time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
And, but unfortunately, it passed away. But
well, that happens. That happens in the hobby. You know, we can't keep our fish forever. I mean, we keep them. We do the best we can with them.
Yeah.
You know, we all have losses. You know, we just do the best we can and try to minimize it. That banjo catfish is very interesting.
Then in the tank behind me, just here, there's a cardinal, and it's what about 4-5 years old.
Oh.
And doing okay.
Good.
But it's huge. It's compared to the other ones, because it's grown as it's.
Well, I think a lot of those smaller tetras. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that they buy a dozen at a time, and I know the neon tetras are overbred quite a bit, and they come kind of weak, and people will buy them like a disposable fish. They'll get them, and they'll have them for 6 months. They'll drop off one at a time.
Keep on topping up, don't they? Yeah, they don't realize how many more diseases they keep on bringing in each time. They keep on bringing 6 in to bring the numbers up to the.
Yep, that's right.
That's the scary part about it.
It is. Yes. And Mel, have you had any compulsive where you were, shopping?
Yeah. Actually, I've been thinking, and just back onto the thing that Anu just said about fish. when I bought them angelfish off eBay, to get as much value out of the £20 delivery box that you get, I got suckered into buying some what we call equis.
Oh yeah.
False equis. There's no such thing. It's just they've got a little bit orange on them. But they obviously sold them as something called false equis. And they're not.
You know, when I seen those, I was pretty sure they looked like the orange Venezuelans.
I think is it Rabati? Rabati, something like that. I think there was someone. I went on a Corey site. I'm in like a Facebook Corey page, and them did guess what they were straight away. And I thought I knew I had been. But also on that order, I bought 3 plecos. Now they were super red and black, long fin plecos. So in other words, calico. And I fell for that one as well.
I got calico.
That's what I mean. But they were classed as red and black. Red and black. And I thought, oh, I've never seen them before, red and black. And then when they come, they were calico. I thought,
the calicos.
The compulsive buy. I seen it and I just thought, I've got to try and get this up to a little bit more in that box just to make it viable for the £20 delivery.
Yep.
So that was my compulsive. Apart from
and
that,
then the other thing is they get you with the what do you call it? Don't they, like free delivery? You know, 50 quid and it's free delivery.
Yeah, and you end up with fish you didn't want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apart from that, it's just all the junk you buy off Amazon when you think, oh, I need that. I need that scraper for pushing the sand around.
It's so convenient to get on Amazon and click. You know,
I need that scraper for pushing the sand around on the bottom of my tank. No, you don't. You just use a car ice scraper. You know, the plastic ones float as well. So if you leave go, it floats.
That's right. Well, I tend to do it over by food. You know, I'll stack the food up 2 or 3 deep.
Yeah.
And that's not really good because, you know, I mean, it stays fresh for a certain amount of time, but I see, you know, if they go on sale or something, I always tend to, that kind of compels me to be more compulsive when I buy.
I'll tell you what I do though. I buy smaller size fish food just so I've got an excuse to go to the shop.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I remember.
Just so I've got an excuse to walk in, just so I'm not walking out empty-handed. Look like I've been in just sniffing the fish and then walking back out from the addiction.
Yes, it's easy to do though. I tell you, when you And just taking a quick look here at the chat. We have Coral Works in the house. Hello, Coral. We have Tommy. Welcome, Tommy. Always good to have you here, sir.
Johnny No Shoes, eh?
And Johnny No Shoes, yes. I am John. I am addicted to aquariums at work and lurking. Yes, sir. Welcome. So yeah, so compulsive buying, and that's why we do it. You know, we see something and we're excited about the hobby. We love it. You know, we're happy to be part of it, and then we see something that's like, oh, you know, we just want to keep it growing. You know, keep it going. I think that's why I do it. I'll see stuff and I'll be like, oh yeah, I love this. I love the fish. I'm gonna buy this food. I'm gonna buy that food. I'm gonna, you know, get all this stuff, and then you're like, well, I got it. And you'll use it eventually, I guess. You know, I think it's just a timing thing with me. I just when I see a sale on something and I say, well, that's a good deal. Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit later. But
saying that bottom tank there, when I bought that one off Facebook Marketplace, that was a bit of a compulsive buy because I had nowhere to have it. It sat on the dining room table for 2 weeks while I made the stand. The wife was working away, and when she come back, I nearly had it all done, so she couldn't complain.
Well, I tell you, I've got empty tanks around here that I have a 40-gallon, 160-liter. I've been sitting down here for almost 2 months now. I haven't set it up yet, and of course the other, 80-liter tanks. I got the 20-gallon longs. I got some of them set up, but I do it. I buy them, I'll stack them up, and then I guess it's not such a bad thing really having the extra equipment. You never know when you might need it.
Yeah.
I mean, if this air system ever happened to go out, it would take me a while to save up the funds to buy a new pump because it's a large It's a big, pump is 90 liters per minute. It runs.
I would have thought the pump that you've got, you would be able to buy spares.
What's that now?
You would be able to buy spares for it.
I won't be able to?
No, no. I would have thought so. You will.
Well, I have, what I did is I have, the biggest thing that would happen with this pump is the gaskets might go. And I bought a gasket kit so I could rebuild it if I had to.
Yeah.
And then I got the hang-on back filters that they could manage until I got it back up and running.
So you were saying there, how many liters per hour is it, Jeff?
It does 90 liters per minute.
Like per minute? Wow.
Per minute. Is it per minute or per? I think it's per minute. It's a very powerful pump, and I
think it'd be 90 liters a minute.
Yeah, I think it's 90 liters per minute.
Yeah,
I believe. I would have to double check that and find for sure.
Yeah,
but I know that right now it runs up everything in here, and I got a lot of air bleeding off from the bleed valve over here. I can hear it hissing from here.
Yeah.
And if I was to tighten that all the way down, these tanks would boil, and it'd be water shooting out the top. Hey, we have Mark has joined us. Hello, Mark.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, how you doing, sir?
Hi, Mark.
Busy on this new tank. My Dremel battery just died, so I figured I could jump in.
Well, excellent. Great.
The fairies had dropped off for you.
That was a nice stand you built.
Thank you.
Mark, he's done something I've never done. I've never built. I'm not very good with tools anyway, so my stands consist of cinder blocks and 2x4s.
That's what mine had always been before.
But you know what? They're sturdy. These things ain't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
And when it comes time to move them around, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be heavy work.
I have limited space though, so I mean, boards take up less room than blocks. You have less wasted space when you got to stack blocks. And I don't have a cement floor, so I got to get underneath the house and brace it. And so it's better when you have it distributed out instead of just boom right here on 2 points.
Yeah, that's right.
A bit like what's eating good but great, where you keep on propping it up for your mom upstairs.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Mark, I got a banner put up here for the very first talking point. And it's what is compulsive buying and why we do it. Is there any compulsive buying you've ever done with your hobby?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Like before, when I didn't know what I was doing, I just kept blowing money and killing stuff and blowing money and killing stuff. When I was a kid, especially.
Yeah.
Every time I got a dime in my pocket, I rode my bike to the pet shop and spent every penny I had on fish.
Easy to do. I noticed, you know what? For me, when I was younger, it wasn't so much like that. I very rarely bought anything then. I noticed that I have more money now than I was a kid too, but I find myself more compulsive the older I get in the hobby. I don't know what it is. It's like I mentioned to Mal and Andrew, it's like you got a snowball that's rolling downhill and it just gets bigger and bigger, and it's hard to stop it once you get it started.
Yeah. And then if you get this, then you got to have this for this, then you got to have this for that, then you got to have. It just keeps snowballing on itself.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So do you have any particular compulsive buy that you may have done that stands out among the others?
I don't know. Not lately, really, because now it's a business for me. I plan it all out when it comes to that kind of stuff. Now, like remote control airplanes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hiking stuff was my thing. I spent money on just like it was going out of fashion, and then you would get it, and it was a piece of junk, and you think, I wouldn't even take it hiking with this.
I did get in the habit of like some of my old videos. I was buying aquarium stuff on Wish.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was all right, but most of it was just good.
I ordered some rocks on the Wish, and I turned up the rock.
No, I actually bought I'd buy foam because I get big old blocks of foam and I could cut it. And some of it would be perfect, and then some of it was like a cushion mattress or something, you know. Like, this is too dense to do anything with.
Yeah.
And who knows what kind of chemicals are in it.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got to be careful, don't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I think I still have, I bought like 30 thermometers for $1 shipping each. So I have 30 of the sticker thermometers, and I've used probably like 10 of them from like 6 years ago. So I still have 20 sticker thermometers from 5 years ago.
Yes. I like I said, my hang-on back filters I mentioned earlier before you came on, Mark. Before I decided to do my air system, I was doing all hang-on backs down here, and then then the prices of the electricity started rising quite a bit, and I was like, try to find a way to try and minimize this. So I started the central air system down here. But then, now I 5 or 6 new hang-on back filters just stacked over here, and that's,
yeah. Oh yeah.
But the good thing about
exactly
that
the
is
same.
when it comes time for giveaways, I'll have something to give away anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying, Andrew?
Exactly the same here. I mean, I had add-on backs and then just switched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer power pumps, like water pumps, instead of air. I mean, I do air when I got to, but if I can do it, I still prefer a water pump.
I like the circulation. That's only thing that's put me off the air is not having the circulation, because just that bit circulation just pushes it all into the filter, and the filter does its job, doesn't it?
Yeah, you keep it stirred up so the filter can suck it up. With air, it's just I get like 3 or 4 inches of mulm caked on the bottom, and I got to deal with that. And with shrimp tanks, it's kind of a pain to vacuum it. You can't really vacuum in shrimp tanks. And eventually, usually it's no problem, but eventually it gets so to the point where it'll start causing problems. So that's why I like good flow.
Ooh. Yep. But the only thing with that is the point I was getting at is it's hard to do a water pump for all your tanks at the same time. You got to have each individual pump. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, if you did a sump, you could do most people aren't going to do that, but you could do a sump running like 5 or 6 different tanks.
Yeah.
Like you can have all your tanks overflowing into the same container. But I like to keep everything separate. So if something goes wrong with one tank, they're not all messed up.
Jimmy P's in the house.
Hi, Jimmy.
And JT. And of course, we have Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, for being here. All right. So, and then we have why we're doing it. Well, we already explained why we did it. So I guess we can move on to the next, right? Let's go on to the next talking point here. This kind of falls in. It's all kind of intertwined here with each other. You got the can we differentiate compulsive buying from hobby necessities? So, in other words, you go to the fish store, and you want to buy food, and you see a nice pair of angelfish that you didn't plan on getting.
Yeah.
And you come home with them and maybe not the food that you were going to buy.
Oh yeah, that's definitely that was a problem before. Now I'm more focused, when it comes to the aquarium stuff.
Yeah.
But it used to be when I said, I want to try some of this, I want to try some of that. I want to do cichlids, and I want to do guppies, and I want to do plants, and then I want,
Yep, I'd like to be able to say that I've gotten better at that, but I still have problems. I'll go to get something, and I'll come home with something completely different. Like I go to get cat food. I'll go to get cat food, and I'll come home with fish. I mean, I'll get the cat food too, because if I don't, I'll be in trouble. But but I come home with something extra.
Oh yeah.
I guess there's nothing wrong with that, really, but it does fall into the compulsive category, I'd say.
I walked into Petco yesterday, bought a 75-gallon tank, and that's that.
And that was on the sale, right?
No, they're not having their half-off sale, but it was on sale. It was online sale that they didn't have in store. They rang it up. It was like $280. Like, whoa! And then it was on sale on the website for $220. So I got it for $220.
I would have waited one more month. It's gonna.
I would have. I won't get any more tanks, but I had to have this tank to bring the fish outside in.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to have it, so I got screwed out of like $80.
Well, I mean, you can look at it that way, but it was a necessity. You had to do it.
Because I don't think they're having another one until like September, October. I think because it's usually every 3 or 4 months, and they ended the last one in like July.
Yeah, I think it's the end of September, or 1st of October. I think they start.
Yeah, I think October will be the next one, and I got to have that all up and going by then. So.
Well, that definitely falls into our category here. That would be classified as a necessity, I'd say. You know, you had to bring those fish in from winter and get them ready for inside. So, you know, that's good. That's how we do things. That's how we have to do things. Now, in the wintertime, Andrew, you have to bring your fish in from outside, don't you?
Well, normally I would do, but I probably just put the shabunkins in the tank in the greenhouse. The coils stay in the pond.
How big are your koi?
Biggest is about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That means it's really that size. But he's doing men's measurements.
Now, if you want, if you no, you need to ask Donna.
It's this big.
She'll tell you how big.
Donna, how big's it?
and they'll stay out. They'll stay out all year round. The koi then.
I used to keep my goldfish outside all year, and when I tried koi a couple times, but they always seem to struggle. Like in the spring, when it went from being cold to warm, I said koi are susceptible. Well, of course, I think we're way colder than what you would be, because we have the continental climate, and we get way hotter in the summer and way colder in the winter.
I'm not sure if Chris Stubbs is still out in the audience here, but he told me that when it comes to the koi, there's a time as winter's turning into spring is the most vulnerable time.
Yep, it is.
And that if they have to get their food at a certain point, otherwise they will be
out of hibernation kind of thing.
Yeah.
They go into, I think it's called torpor, I think is the word for it, where they're alive, but they're not, when it gets below 50 degrees, they can't eat anything.
Yeah.
And then under like 60, you really need to feed them just like wheat germ. You don't want to feed them any protein or stuff. But when it gets under 50 or 40, they can't eat anything at all. So in the spring, you know, we might have a day where it's 80, and then we'll have a day where it's in the 30s, you know.
Yeah. And
I think if they have a belly full of food, if you go out there and start feeding them, and then the water drops like a rock and gets too cold, I think that can cause.
A bit like our summer at the moment.
I think when the water gets so low, they can't digest or do anything anymore, so it just sits in their gut and rots. I think that can cause like bacterial infections. So
yeah. Thank you, JT. All right, and let's see now. So, have there been any times you've been to the fish shop, Mal, that where you went in and you came back with a little more than what you planned on? Or do you just go and check?
Not really. Mine's just little things at the minute. It's just changing your mind on you've researched a certain kind of like tatter or something that to go in your community tank, and you get there and there's only 3 of them left, but you want at least 6 to 10 or something like that to have that little bit of schooling action, and you quickly change your mind and you wish you hadn't.
Yeah.
Because when you get home, you get scared when you start doing the research. Think, oh, this one needs a stupid pH, and then you think they do need a stupid pH, but then you realise, like I said last week, the pet shop has it on the same tap water as what you've got. They don't have any special environment. It's you
got your heart on getting something. You got your heart set on I'm going to get something, and then you go and they don't have it. So you end up, I want to get this instead. And then you don't even know what you did, what you're getting yourself into.
We have Crypt Keeper Aquatics in the house. Hey, Tim, welcome.
Howdy.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Tim recently.
Well, he's been busy. I speak
Yeah.
with him occasionally, and he's been very busy with work. And he did a live stream the other day that I went in.
Got a visitor.
Hey, he's
Oh,
waving
yeah.
as well.
Hello there.
Say hi, Bailey. Quit licking your butt and say hi. You gotta get on camera.
There you go.
Oh my
And
goodness.
all three of those Neos are doing great.
Oh, nice. Which ones did you get? I think you got Bloody Mary. Green. That's been a while. Green Jades. And I can't think what else you got. I know you got 3 different lines off me.
I've got 2 so far, but I got more that I'm going to be getting. But that brings about a very interesting thing. I want to turn this over for a second to the people in the chat. You guys in the chat, have you ever had any compulsive buying and when you're going to pick up something necessary that you just got a bunch of other stuff and maybe you hadn't planned on doing it? Feel free to drop that in, and we're going to try and get those up on the screen here.
Something that I did buy the last time I was in the fish shop was one of the magnetic cleaners for the glass. So it costed £28 for this magnetic cleaner. And when I got it, it was absolutely rubbish. And I just thought, why did not just stick with the green pad that you were getting for what you would call $1, where you have like a pound shop, and then you used to get 12 in a bag, and you think, why not just stick with them? They were doing fine. You've paid £28 for this stupid magnet.
I actually did. That's one of the things I got off Wish. Is I still have them. I got 2 of them for like $3. Now the magnet. Now if there's anything thick on there, it's not going to get anything. But if it's just like a little bit of diatom, it'll wipe it off. But the magnet's so weak, it'll barely even hold it.
Putting the thing underneath really to give it that extra scrub, can you? It's because once you try to wedge something in, it just off it pops. And
I usually just take the rough end and scrub it in the tank anyway.
Yeah. Just get your hands wet.
Yeah.
Stop being a big Jesse about it and just put your hand in.
I'm going to test this and see if this is any better. To compare this and let me know if this is any better or not, guys. 1 second. I'm going to plug this in. I had to charge my iPad up. Let's see here. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arnold did put something there for his compulsive buying, but then he's retracted the message. So I didn't quite catch it.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I was trying to get these things turned on here, so I didn't see it either. It says, well, here he goes. He has one right here. I'm going to get a bag or 2 of live food and end up buying it all and purchasing more fish as well. Yep.
Definitely.
That's definitely, that's easy to do, Arnold. He did.
How close are you, Arnold? How close are you to opening your fish shop? Is it just a dream still, or have you made any inroads into getting it up and running?
Say what now?
Actually, I'm talking to Arnold. He's in chat.
Yeah. King's Aquarium
that could take a while for that answer.
And hello, George. Welcome. Let's see here. Crypt Keeper says, I've definitely impulse bought. Always at shows and meetings. Now, yeah, you know what? If I was close to an auction or a meeting, like what you guys go to, my closest one is about 3 hours away. And if I went there, I could probably put myself into some trouble because you'll see a lot of fish you never.
Last time I went to one, I got a bunch of sick guppies.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know the one I went to one.
You'll be doing that again, will you?
No.
There is a place in Grand Rapids which is about
your own streams.
I got some king koi guppies, and those are super awesome. I was like, I got to get those. Well, they was crapping redworms when I brought them home, so I got them to breed a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think they're so inbred, and it's like they come straight from Asia, and they're used to being like 90-degree water, and I don't keep my tanks that warm, you know.
Yeah.
And I just noticed up here, Tommy out in the chat, he says, what do we define as a hobby necessity? Well, I personally, I would say that food is definitely a necessity. You need to buy that for your fish, and probably maybe a water dechlorinator, stuff like that. And where it falls in with the differentiation of the compulsive buying is I'll go in and to buy a package of food or something, and I'll come home with a new pleco or something, or I'll spend another $20 or $30 that I didn't plan on doing. And like I said, it's not such a problem really, because in the hobby you're allowed to do what you want to do, but sometimes that you wonder if you should at the time spend that extra money when you could probably get by without it and then do something later.
Yeah.
Because like me, I'm on a budget myself, so I don't really have a lot of extra money to toss around. So I try to plan my stuff out a little bit, but even so, it's not easy. You see something that catches your eye, and you're going to want to buy it. So
I think something I blow less money the longer I'm doing it, because I know exactly what I need. When you start getting it figured out more and more, the longer you're in it, then you know what you really need and I don't have the money for that extra thing.
Well, the thing of it is also, you got an advantage. Well, you gave yourself a little bit of an advantage because you made it a business.
Yeah.
You depend on this for your family's income, where most of us, I mean, I am in the process of getting a online presence, selling, shipping. I don't do it for a living, but I wouldn't mind trying to eventually have it evolve into that. But you do it, so you have to think about all the decimals. You got to think about those percentage points.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely, you look at it a different light for sure.
Every digit counts. Yep. So, you weigh out the shipping costs with the price of the product, and you got to make it all work so that you come out with a profit that you can feed your family. So, it really does make a big difference. I mean, for those of us who are just in the hobby, it's like, I like this fish over here. I'm going to grab it and bring it home without thinking of any other consequences, But then again, sometimes you can get to the point where, okay, well, here comes the utility bill, and I spent $40 on this cichlid over here, and it looks like I'm going to be maybe paying my bill a little bit late or something like that, without having to dip into savings that you want to put, if you have it for your retirement or whatever, you don't want to dip into that.
When I was young and really poor and very dumb, I spent money I didn't have on this stuff for sure. I got myself in trouble with the wife a lot.
I tell you, I got a very understanding wife. I'm blessed. She supported, she's an enabler for me. She's like, yeah, well, that's great, Jeff. You do this, you do that. And, that's like putting a loaded gun in a 5-year-old's hand. You don't want to do that. I mean, but I've
got ways around my wife.
Oh, you have to walk a thin line, don't you?
I've got ways around it. What I do is I leave catalogs open on the most expensive thing. So when she gets hit with the one that's half the price, she's like, oh, well, actually, it's half the price. I play to her strength, you see.
You see, the thing is, I've just realised, right, that Jeff's having to be careful what he says because Kathy's in chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't see that.
No.
Hello, dear. Hello.
Planning is everything. Yeah.
Planning is everything. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Andrew. I have to be a little more. I just broke out in a sweat. No. All right. And Melvin says hello to you, Kathy. And if I missed anybody saying anything in chat, please forgive me because my eyes are bad and I'm trying to keep up with the topics here. If I have missed anybody, just take that in stride and chalk it up to my blindness. But I appreciate everybody. I just want everybody to know how much I do appreciate them. So in case I have, this is a blanket forgive me. Okay. All right. And there's Tommy. Okay. So I think we got number 2 down. So we got 2 more to go. So let's go ahead with the next one here. And pop this up. And what can we do to remedy compulsive spending?
Stop giving it to the wife.
If that is an issue. Well, this is pertaining to our hobby. So.
Oh, sorry. Right. Okay.
Yeah, this is
not shoes then.
So
Not shoes.
let's see.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. Yeah.
And stick to it.
Yeah. Stick to it.
Make a plan and
right.
stick to it. That's good. That is very good. So, give me an example of that, Mark. I know you just built your stand, so you planned that out, right?
Yeah. I figured out. I did end up getting like 4 extra 2x4s I didn't need, but I thought I planned it out. It's pretty close to being right.
I'm always the other way. Not buying enough.
Yeah. That's if I err, I always end up buying too many.
Yeah.
Of anything. Going too big or too many.
It'll always come in handy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be. I have a half of a 2x12 that's 5 foot long. I have one of those left.
Yeah.
Probably make some shelves in the shed out of that or something, I imagine.
I've got 4 tents. I can only sleep in one of them.
So now with Andrew,
that's what your kicks us out of him in the back garden, in the backyard.
So, like with your pond, Andrew, you planned that. You didn't just start digging a hole, did you? I mean, you planned it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it still ended up smaller than I anticipated. But the original pond planned it all out, but it never worked. It just a total failure. But like I said before, I mentioned this to you, haven't I, Donna? But she's upstairs. That's why I keep looking up. I did. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not the only one who has to be careful.
So the original pond that we had a stream. It went into a sump. It was then pumped back up the garden and flowed back down. Yeah. And we had one of the pressurized filters on it with a UV on the top. And last year at some point, we woke up during the night because the power had gone off. And it turned out that the UV filter had tripped the electrics. There was water leaking into it. So we decided that because we were losing water in the pond and losing quite a considerable amount of water, but we didn't know where it was coming from or where it was leaking from, we decided to rebuild the pond. So we rebuilt the pond, one liner, no splits in it, nothing. We still lose water. I'm thinking something not quite right here. You know, we're still losing a lot of water. We've redone this pond with, all breeze blocks on the side of it. And it turned out it was the filter. The one that had blown the electrics. We've taken that out of we've taken that out of it now. And there's no issues. But
you done all that
sort of, yeah. It was hard work. I started last year. Finished about April, something like that. But
I know of those pressure pond filters. I've always had bad luck with those.
Yeah, this one it it had cracked.
Hmm.
And I tried to reseal it, but it just wouldn't have it. That was it. It had gone.
Yeah.
So straight in the bin. So you sort of go through your plans, and they don't always sort of even there work. But we've now got a deeper and wider pond, and obviously more fish as well. There's something to fall into as well.
Oh yeah, you got to watch your step there. And I know, Mal, you've been doing a lot of planning, because I've been following you with your fish room build. So now that's one thing that it's going slow. But you know what, though? The thing about that is the precise way it should be, because you're planning every detail and you're taking your time. And that's something that, see, I'm the person, I always put the cart before the horse.
Right.
You know, that's what my problem is. I always...
Yes. My problem is I can't sleep on a night time. If I've got an idea in my head, I've got to work it out to the last screw in my head the night before. And I've got to be up at like 5 in the morning, and I've got to get up at 7 to go and start doing it. And you think, where did that night go? That's how anal I get about when I'm planning stuff. Where it rules my life.
I used to be like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'd be up all night with an idea in my head, just thinking and pondering, and I don't know. I guess I grew out of it. Now I fall asleep now. I'm old and tired now.
It's more make or break for you nowadays. That it works and I make money, I don't. But you at the minute, Mark, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, for me, with my planning, like with this stream, for instance, this is the first time I've ever actually put any kind of structure together with the talking points, and I've just kind of let it go willy-nilly. And I tell you one thing, I like it this way a lot better, because with the topics we have the banner up where we can talk about it, and it also gives everybody in the audience out there in the chat a chance to show their point of view also. I know that Tommy had some ideas about, and also Crypt Keeper, about using the stuff that we've already bought that we don't need. Now, I think eventually all that stuff will get used up. I mean, like these filters, like I'm going to be giving them away for giveaways, for instance. Say if I make it to a 1K or something, I'm going to be giving away a nice hang-on back filter. So that's what I'm, working at. So I guess a lot of the stuff I got, it'll go to good use.
Are you still listening, Kathy?
I probably got about $200 worth of PVC fittings that I've not used. Every time I was like, I need this, and this for this project. So if I need 4 or 5, I'll get 8.
Yeah.
And then I'll go.
10s are a lot cheaper than one at a time, aren't they? So
yeah. And then I'll forget that I have that already. Then I'll go for the next project, go and buy more. And it's like, I already got like 12 of these things.
Mark, I'm like that with tools. I've got loads of double as of tools where I just kind seem to find it. I get my hand on it, so I think, I'll just buy another one. I'm out. And you get back, and then it's the first thing you put your hand on when you get back. And you're, oh, right, that's 2 of them.
Oh, I'm getting attacked.
She's still listening to you. She's still listening now.
You have to be quiet about them filters.
Oh, here comes that sweat. Here comes that heat again.
I'm sure you said you were putting them on eBay for twice as much as you had bought them for, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's see here in the chat if anybody's got anything to add on this. Especially like in
this dog's begging me to go outside. You gotta settle down a little bit. Just wait a little bit.
My dog's just had 9 teeth out yesterday.
Ooh.
He's only like one of them toy dogs that size, but he's had 9 teeth out yesterday.
All right, Ava, stop.
He's feeling a bit sorry for himself. He's not himself today.
I'm gonna have to let these guys out because they're not stopping. I'll still be able to hear, but you won't be able to see me.
Right.
Oh, okay. No problem. So we got that number 3 then. I guess that's pretty much taken care of.
With that one, for me,
And,
Jeff, I tend to keep off Amazon. Our Amazon accounts in my wife's name. So that helps me not really spend. Because if it was in my name and you didn't see it, there would be boxes coming every hour on the hour.
You know, you mentioned that. See, my Amazon, Kathy's Amazon is under my name for some reason.
Yeah.
So when she orders something, it's as if I bought it.
All right.
And when I buy something, she's got it. It's kind of, she had it reversed. So, I mean, it's about 50-50, but I do buy most of my, a lot of my stuff from Amazon, fish food and whatnot. I mean, the free delivery is a good point for us. You know, it just saves a lot of gas and
definitely.
around.
And no matter what, you can always get it cheaper, can't you, on Amazon?
Yeah, you can get it cheaper in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Some things are a little more expensive, but then when you figure the time driving, picking it up, you know, you can wait a day or two. It can be there the next day.
And then you get there and it's not in stock.
Yeah, that's right. At least on Amazon, we know if it's in stock because it'll say right there when you hit the, buy it, and then you're all set. Jimmy P says, several months back, I stopped buying with credit. That has been a huge help. Well, you know what? That's good, Jimmy, but I don't carry cash. I don't carry cash around with me ever. I pretty much use my debit card for all my spending anymore. I mean, back years ago, I was a strong believer. I want to have cash on me all the time. I always liked that. But then over the course of,
isn't it? By using money rather than credit. It's actually a good way of stop. It's a good remedy.
Yeah, when you just slap a card, it don't feel like it hurts as bad.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, does it? But when you
that's right.
Abraham Lincoln and all them go across it. Like,
you sit there and count out $200 or $300, like, ugh.
then you get that bank statement.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, debit is cash. Yes, that's right. But it still spends just as easy from the debit card as it does the credit card. But you got to have the money in the bank to do it to begin with. That makes a difference. Yeah. Credit is, that's you're borrowing from one area and you got to pay back extra. So I don't use credit to buy any of my purchases. That's one good thing I got to say. I use just money that I have available in the bank. So, okay. Let's see here now. Okay. So I guess we're on to 3. That's finished, I believe, unless anybody has something else to add to that. Andrew, do you have anything to add to this one?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, let's go to number 4 then. This is our last talking point, and this is the part that kind of I like is the extenuating circumstances. In other words, falls right into the compulsive buying that okay, you go and you have a plan. You have a plan to go and buy a certain fish, and or you go to let's put it this way. I'm going into this wrong. I just want to go to the pet store and look around and see what they got. Just for something to do. I mean, we've all done that.
It's raining.
At least I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's raining?
No, I said it's raining, so you go in the store.
Oh, yeah, something like that, yeah. So I go to the store, and I walk in, and I didn't really plan on buying anything, but then you see some fish that you've been wanting for such a long time, and you had no idea that they would be in stock. And then, you just get it because you want to strike while the iron's hot, because they're here now, they might be gone tomorrow. So that's what I tend to do, if they're... But, that's something that I plan on getting. Maybe I hadn't planned on getting it just then, but I'm the kind of person that I will make, I'll do that purchase. I'll get that rare fish that I want. And, I might regret it when I get home. I got to move a bunch of stuff around. to get it organized, but that's a biggie for me, though. The extenuating circumstance. I mean, I'll buy something if it's something special and something that I've always wanted. And what gets me in trouble sometimes is if I'm not quite ready for it, then I pay a consequence when I get home, because then I earn it, though. I worked my tail off to make it work.
Yeah.
To keep it and make sure that it's got a good home, and I'm going to be able to care for it properly and everything. So, have you had any of those type of situations at all, you guys?
Well, maybe if something breaks, get something that's way better. Give you an excuse to spend a lot of money, I guess, with extenuating circumstances.
Like if you see something, I can get this.
Yeah.
I mean, if it breaks, you've also got, do you buy like for like, or do you upgrade?
Well, if you're buying it for something that breaks to replace it, that would fall under necessity. That's something that you need to do.
Well, but if you get something way nicer than what you had before.
If you then improve what you had on, so let's say you just got a little bog standard air pump that, it isn't really pushing much air out, but then it breaks. But then you come along and you think, I'll use this opportunity, and you'll buy one that pushes 3 times more power out. Or,
Yeah. And as YouTubers, you tend to do that, don't you? You tend to look for a different brand or a different little thing just so you can make a video on it.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
Yep. I think that was a pretty good...
I tend to do that quite a bit. If a heater breaks, I tend to try and get a different brand altogether, just so I've got something to compare to, rather than...
Now, that's something I like to buy. I like to have extra heaters is something I like to have on hand, especially living in Michigan. It gets so cold here in the wintertime, and down here in the basement, even with the heat ducts open, it's still, we're talking down here, it could be down to 55, 60 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And, if I was like keeping goldfish or something, that would be all right. But I keep all tropical fish right now, so.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a heat.
One of the things that I'm just reading here, what M&C Aquatics has put about, he got his dovey when he was small, got in dirt cheap. 3 years later, I picked up a female. But that reminds me of last year when I went into LFS and we did pea puffers for £1, baby pea puffers, and I was really tempted to, but the reason I didn't was I didn't have any tank space for them. But where can I put them sort of thing. And at the end of the day, I knew nothing about them. But I would have came home with those. I probably would have came home with them. That's where my weakness is. I would have came home. I would have moved something around. I mean, let's put it this way: I will never buy a fish unless I've researched it and know what it needs. I've always done that. But if I've researched pea puffers. I mean, if I went and I seen and they looked healthy and I wanted them, I might come home with them even without planning on it. Just because, I mean, if they're especially healthy, if they're on sale or something where they look, and
you're in the position where you can't grow depth, so
to a point, a little bit, but most of these tanks are except for I have a few that haven't been set up yet. But see, that's the thing. I don't want to go and buy these fish and come home and set up a brand new tank without. I want to have the tank set up beforehand, but it's not always the case. I mean, there's been a couple times where like with my dragon blood peacocks, I ordered them a week before my tank even arrived. So they were to be shipped out the next week. I went and got my tank, got it home, got it set up, and I got it started to cycle. I cycled it for 6 days only.
Yeah.
And I used the sponge filter from another tank, and everything worked out all right. But I tell you what, I was working at a feverish pace trying to get everything all caught up before those fish arrived. And it makes it harder on yourself when you do that. If you just take your time and plan it out, set something up and just It's somebody with me. I get so anxious though. I just want to go and I just want, I want it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the problem is.
That's right. My mother was like that, Jeff.
Daniel,
my mother was like that.
That's the addiction, Jeff.
Oh,
yeah.
She ordered a new 3-piece suite, like sofa set and carpets for the living room. Got rid of the ones that we had. This is a month before Christmas, and we had to have Christmas on deck chairs in the house because they didn't come in time.
Wow.
But that's how compulsive she is. She's seen it, loved it, bought it, but it didn't come in time, so we're all sitting on deck chairs Christmas morning.
My wife has a cousin there living in her parents' barn because they're having one of those barn dominiums built, and the guy was like 9 months behind schedule, couldn't get materials. Oh man, they was living in a.
Was that because of COVID? And
yeah, that was back then when that was going on. So they sold their house and then lived in a barn. Yeah.
They had a roof over their head, right?
Well, what it is,
over your head, though.
my wife's aunt and uncle, they go to Florida for the winter now, and they sold their house, but they kept the farm property, and so they built like a little efficiency apartment in the big barn that's heated. So them and their 2 kids had to live in this little barn apartment. Well, their house was being built right next door on the same property.
I like how you've decorated this for Christmas with the nativity scene.
Yeah. Well, that'd be kind of fun though. You got your house being built and you're living in your barn. It's it's kind of like camping out.
I think you'll get pretty long in the tooth later on when you're in the middle of winter waiting for it to get built and you're living in a barn.
Yeah.
Well, at least in Florida, it doesn't get too cold, though. I mean, it's probably stayed maybe 50 or 6. Might get a little chilly at night. Yep. Okay, I'm just taking a look at the time here. We are at 4:30 my time, so we've been going for an hour now. I want to take this time now as we'll go around the panel here. Any upcoming events that we have going on? I know we have this Saturday, we have Here Fishy Fishy on Andrew's channel. Is there anything going on?
I've got nothing going on. I've got a couple of videos. I've actually got a video that I don't want to make, but it's one of them I've been doing for 2 months. And I just don't want to finish it, to be quite honest. I'm bored watching it now in editing it and putting it on. And why did you start to put it's 2 months work? You just think, why did you bother? It's not much work. It's just like a little.
It's surprising how many. I mean, I've sort of started video projects and just scrap them.
And, I've made 5 or 6 full videos I've edited and everything. Just this one sucks. Delete.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah,
my problem is getting one started. Once I start one, I'll finish it and I'll publish it. And
getting onto the
and
YouTube
I want to make an announcement right here.
Go on, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna mention here. I wanted to pull this up as a special mention. We have my friend in Canada. We have Chris Stubbs in the chat right now, and he is so close to his 2K. That's his goal for this year.
Yeah.
If anybody is in the chat, if you would like to, if somebody could please, I can actually do it myself. I can drop his link in the chat here, and
I've already
check out his
1,000 times. I can't do another 1,000.
I tell you, if I could, I would. I tell you that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and share this here.
Yeah, share
and put it right here. And I'm sharing this link right now. If you haven't checked out his channel, I encourage you to do so because it's a fantastic channel. And if you have any interest whatsoever of goldfish, koi, or especially in what I love about his channel, and I love the goldfish and the koi, but it's his barb, his barbs that he has. I love those fish.
Yeah.
And and it's really
Especially Odessa pops. These Odessa pops. When I go to the pet
beautiful.
shop, they don't look like that.
No.
They're all like just milky colored with very little color in them, and it's just think, are these really Odessa pops? Yeah, they're Odessa pops. Are they sure? Because you've been selling me bronze cories as green cories, so add an extra pound on.
And one of these days, I'm gonna entice Chris up here on the stage because I know he's got a problem with barbs. He's got an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely get him on.
Yep.
I'll make room for him.
Yeah. Well, we got room for 6, but we could. Let's see here. We got Coro. Hello, Coro. All right, and Mark, do you have any projects this week that besides you got your new stand you built, and
I'm in the middle of setting up my 75-gallon tank right now. Let's see if does it show up right?
Oh yeah, it does.
There it is.
That was your video of the day, wasn't it, Mark?
He built that stand. That's real.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, I tell you. That's a nice looking stand. It really looks solid.
Yeah, I hope it is. We'll find out when I start filling it full of tanks.
It looks like you did a great job on that. I mean, I'd really like to. Yes, I'd like to be able to learn how to do that. I'm so you can ask my wife, Kathy. Are you still in chat? Let them know how good I am with tools. She won't allow me. She won't allow me to build anything. She
like when we get that build it yourself stuff, the IKEA type of stuff. My wife has to build it because I get too mad at it.
Yeah. I do too.
I don't read instructions very well.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because you have to have this side facing this way, this side facing that way. You put it all together, and the side with the finish on it is facing inside. Like, oh no, like that's wrong. And that's damn it, no. It's like, Brandy, get in here and do this. I'm too pissed off at
it. She had this miter saw, and she wanted me to cut on an angle on this, and it started cutting it, and the wood started splintering and tearing and stuff. And I was trying to be as gentle as possible doing this, and it got so mad that I just threw it across the room. So that she decided that from that point on, no more tools, and for me not to try and build anything. She'll either build it herself, or we'll have somebody do it for us.
You have to hide, Jeff. You have to hide the man to do stuff in the house.
Now, when it comes to cooking, I'm a very good cook, and so I do the majority of the cooking in the house and stuff. So that's one thing. But when it comes to building anything, forget it. So
if you can cut boards if you can precisely cut boards, this is as easy as can be. That stand I made, it really is.
I just proved that I couldn't, but
well, if you're not cutting at an angle, it's just
maybe a straight cut I might be able to. Oh, here she goes, and then the corners that were she took napkins and Elmer's glue and formed it into like wood. After I destroyed it. And MC Aquatic says he still needs to build a stand for his 125-gallon acrylic. Ah, nice. I would like to get a 6-foot tank one of these days.
That's pricey. Big acrylic tank.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at it. It's like $1,100 at least.
The good thing about them is they're lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also scratch really easy too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've always been worried about with my cats here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, new fish room tour video coming soon. Oh, excellent. We're looking forward to that, Arnold. Cody says to measure 5 times and cut twice. Scrap the wood for something else. Okay. All right. So, the only plans I have is this week after today is being on the Here Fishy Fishy show on Saturday. And are we having the 60-second?
We need
contest?
some volunteers. We need some volunteers.
Oh.
We were, well, Daniel was going to be there, but Daniel won't be there at the weekend because he's having to work. He's going to the Edinburgh Tattoo. So
he's going to where? I'm sorry, where was that?
The Edinburgh Tattoo, military tattoo.
Oh,
it's bagpipe playing in like jazz band kind of music with bagpipes.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
They'll get to wear the kilts.
I went to Flo's Castle, you know, where Tarzan Lord of Greystoke, the film.
Yeah,
the castle's called Flo's Castle, and they have this thing called Battle of the Bands on. It's like all the Scottish bagpipers play, and it was really good. And I can't stand bagpipes because it just sounds like a cat getting strangled most of the time. But it was really good. I think it was because there was a few beers on the way and I wasn't driving, so I was all right. I love this.
My daughter does a bunch of band competitions for the school, and there's this marching band. They had like 8 kids playing the bagpipes. I was like, oh, wow. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I bet the parents love them kids practicing.
Oh.
I had no idea that.
The only thing is with bagpipes, the only problem with bagpipes is they're bad for your lungs.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because you get microbes in the bags, like fungus.
Right.
You can get that into your lungs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Keep the mats over and over again.
Yeah, I had no idea that Daniel played the bagpipes, so that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show playing the bagpipes.
Yeah,
because he didn't really play them neither.
Yeah, he could do a video and put it on for us. We could add it on here in a clip. So yeah. All right. So now I think at this point, I think we had a pretty good meeting, gentlemen, and I think it went really smooth.
Good to see Mark.
And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. And I just want to remind everybody. Thank you very much for being here. And the things you have to remember is to feed yourself, feed your family, and feed your addiction. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.